All right. Morning, team. Morning. Hope you're doing good. FOMC day. It's going to be a shorter stream today. I've got stuff I need to deal with personally off the chart. So we'll be here until about 11 o'clock. All right. Let's go over it all. What are we looking at? Daily chart, no change. All right. Another day, pretty much opening inside the current weekly range and the previous weekly range. Right. So we can see yesterday, even though many of you may disagree, yesterday we had another inside bar. So here's Friday, Monday inside of Friday, Tuesday inside of Monday. Currently we have Wednesday inside of Tuesday. This is compression. This is not trend. It is nothing else other than compression. The market will make a decision soon enough when it's ready, probably after FOMC, on what it wants to do. Okay, but right now we are trapped. Here's the edge. That's what we're trapped in. This is rotation. It is not trend. If you buy the top of this, you will get hurt. If you short the bottom of this, you will get hurt. Unless you get very lucky and you end up timing the breakout or the breakdown, you will get hurt. So the best thing to do is follow the rules of rotation. You want to play the edges and nothing else. All right, you can see we've been developing quite a big node here, which is starting to stick out like a bit of a sore thumb here, sort of 650 to 600, worth paying attention to. Once we start to break below the fives, and we're going to go over this in the hourly, there is room for us to come and reprice some of this, right? And we have some support down here, and we also have the 50-day and 20-day. The mean reversion to there would be the healthiest thing for this market. It may very be that it doesn't want to do it, but in terms of bullish progress, you know, if we actually did this and set a firm higher low here on a daily and then reclaimed this, then guess what? That move there becomes much, much easier than trying to just have a pause for a moment and continue that. That's a much harder move for the market to do, which is why it's struggling. We have exhaustion and we still have the buyers trapped up here, but we're going to have a look at these levels on the hourly now to make it all make sense. Let's go over to this. Let's make sure you can see this. Pull this down a bit. Okay, hourly here. This is your previous week's balance. All right, previous week's balance. Nice, clear bell shape, right? Clean distribution, all right, just in rotation. You can see Friday, we failed to get outside of balance. Monday, we failed to get outside of balance. So what are we doing, right? If we can't get out of balance, we're going to search for balance, right? If we can't get out of balance, we're going to search for fair value. What is the biggest fair value from the week before? Point of control, right? That's your fair value from the week before. We cannot get a close underneath previous week's point of control. So what are we going to do? We're going to create more rotation. All right, where's the rotation? Inside previous week's balance, we are creating current week rotation. That is all there is to say on this. You don't need to make it any harder, right? These are the conditions we've got. This is your support system. This is fair value right now from the previous week. We cannot get above fair value of the current week. You can see every time we're driving up to current, this is developing. This is a developing profile. Current week's value area high, current week's point of control, we can't get through it. Every time we come down to previous week's point of control, all right, it was naked on Monday, it's not naked anymore, we've revisited a few times. Every time we get down to there, we're not seeing the move back down to previous week's value area low. So what are the range rotations? Well, it's just within this. All we have right now is fading this back down to here, buying this back up to here. Once that breaks, if we get a breakout of previous week point of control and we stay heavy, then we can think about that move to previous week value area high. If we get a breakout of current value area high and previous week value area high, maybe you can think about the longs, but then you have to be aware of what you're coming into. All right, you're coming into this level here, sort of 885, 900, massive level, massive level. So that's where we're at, and that's what you need to be aware of. This is why yesterday I was very adamant and animated. You cannot be long up here. It is not a trend. I don't care what you think. This is telling you. All you have to do is follow right what is in front of you. Range and new range. Do not get caught. This morning is likely to be low volatility. It's likely to set traps for later. It doesn't have to. There have been times on the past where the morning before FOMC has been absolutely beautiful to trade. The range on FOMC has been getting smaller and smaller and smaller because we're not actually as interested in the rate cuts. You can see, we know it's going to be a 0.25 cut, all right? There's a 95% chance that it's 0.25. What does that mean? Well, it's probably already in the price then. It's already baked in. So maybe we get an algo move off it, as in a news algo move. What everyone's going to be interested in is what Powell says afterwards, right? It's all about, because last time it was a 50-50 split on whether we did more cuts in the future. People will be listening to, are we going to do more cuts in the future? Do they even care about inflationary pressure? My guess would be no. What they're going to care about is the jobs market, because the jobs market is in a bad way, all right? Worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. People are not actually quitting their jobs now because they're scared. They're staying in their jobs, but jobs are scarce. That is what I think he's going to talk about, is the labor market, and that's what will shake the market. I would imagine people will ask him some questions about liquidity, the JPY carry trade, and our current treasuries and bonds, and the fact that the 10 and 20 and 30 year look like they might break out. That is what the tone is going to be, I would imagine, when we get to the Q&As. That is what the news algos are going to move off. If you like being risky, by all means trade it. For me, I like putting size on tomorrow, because I think we get, a move on liquidity today. Maybe we wash both sides today. All right, wouldn't surprise me at all to see either something like a dip and rip, or a fail and back down. All right, the big move for me is going to come once we get out of here. Once we can get, if we're going to get out of here to the downside, once we get outside of previous week value area high, right, we have an old naked POC which lines up perfectly down here. This, for me, is the buying opportunity. That's the big buying opportunity down there. All right, if we come down here, do a double bottom, yes please, thanks very much. I'll be looking for that probably next week. If today is a sell the news event, or even if they push higher today and they use it tomorrow as liquidity for a sell news event, this is where I'm interested in really getting potential buys from. All right, so that's what I'm watching. We can look at what happened overnight. Not a lot is the answer. All right, so yesterday, believe it or not, even though many of you decided you wanted to buy up here, it was not a trend day, it was a rotation back inside. All right, it took a long time to do that. Why? I'm going to go over the spiders shortly, but we had recessionary pressure. JP Morgan stuck in silver. Will deny it, but they're stuck in silver. They've got a big short position in silver, and on top of that, there came out Jamie Dimon saying, he's worried about the state of the market. Okay, well, SPY came all the way down here. NQ relative strength, mainly because we're still finding a bid on Oracle, which has earnings tonight. Okay, so drift down overnight. What do we do? Not a lot. London peaks out over yesterday's highs, fails. Surprise, surprise, because we're in range rotation. We fail the high, we come back down to the low. We're now at previous day value area low. There's not a lot to do here, folks. Like, the range is going to get tighter and tighter and tighter. The current range, if we look at previous day value area high, is sat around 25,730s, and previous day value area low 25,653. So it's not even 100 points of range for rotation right now. We can easily set traps each side of it. So just be aware of that as you're coming to the charts today. Understand what the environment is right now. Must understand what that environment is. So here you can see again, overnight, all we've done, failed above, come down, back to value, bounce back to point of control, back to value, back to point of control, back to value. That's it. That's all we're doing. Boxed in. All right, so like I said, the range is going to get tighter and tighter and tighter. You don't want to be risk on in this environment. Just let it figure itself out. What I do want to talk about, though, is the divergences in this market. So let's go to ES, move to 5 minute. All right, ES yesterday, like I talked about, much, much heavier. All right, and exactly the same. Fails the top of its range, look above and fail, traps the liquidity, and there's the full roll. All right, that's what I was hoping NQ would do, but we just did it on this single market, and that's all from the banking sector. All right, finance is in trouble, and now we've gone back into test this level, fail, back to the low, found a bid, back up here, fail. You can see the rotation. All right, so on ES, your big level is 35s. Now, what I'd be watching is the gamma levels on SPY, because they are what keep coming up over and over and over again. So you can see my price alerts, they're still here. 85, all right, is your call wall right now. They have got room above it if they get through on FOMC. 82 was a call wall, a put wall yesterday, but I would imagine they've probably moved some down into 80. I know beneath 80, we've got about a 10-point room right now. All right, beneath 80, if they start letting go of this, I think the next one was like 75 and even 70, right the way down here. All right, a long, long way. So This is the range. Once we get outside of that range, if there's gamma exposure, it's going to move. It's worth watching the SPY. It's trading between 85 and 82. If it lets go of 82, it will trade between 82 and 80. If it lets go of that, there is a deeper move. I think there was some exposure at 78, and then there's potential flush on this market. So just be aware of what the broader markets are doing. We can have a quick look at Dixie. It's trying to find a bid recently. It's trying to get back up to this top side for this 100 break. And VIX is now trapped between some key levels. So VIX on a daily, you can see we have started to base out, starting to find a bid here at 15s. All right, but we're coming into a couple of key resistance points. So it really depends, is VIX actually going to have a push and fail here? Remember, as we get down into here, this is low vol. And that's in this kind of area here is where we expect NQ and SPY to do like those slow grind, steady grind days, okay? So down here, very bullish for the market. Up here, we're going to increase volatility. I would imagine during FOMC, it will come up here. All right, it probably comes up here because we're going to get volatility coming into the market. Let's have a look at the mag. How are we doing for time? 5 minutes. All right. All right. Apple doing actually not too bad. All right, we did start to roll over yesterday, but like we talked about, it's not letting go of the key levels. Same thing that we talked about yesterday. There's your neckline. There's your pin. All right, if it can reclaim 80, it's got a chance to go back to highs. We can build liquidity on here. 80 is the chance to go back to highs. 75 failures is that neckline fail. If we did a neckline fail, you'd be expecting a measured move, probably the size of this. All right, and we'd be looking for a move back to 65s, which is where that liquidity is sat. All right, so all to play for on Apple. It's got to make a decision, much like the Qs right now, just stuck in between. Amazon gap up there. Kind of similar, not quite as weak, but kind of similar. There's your breakout. All right, there's the low. There's the start of the higher low. That's your pullback. If Amazon wants to hold, then it's got a chance to get going here. So it just needs to hold a bid. 26s, you can call it 25s if you want. Breakout over 38 will be, you can see this clear level on the chart right here, right? Over 38, we get motoring. So if you want to set price alerts, I'll be setting price alerts. Under 15, it's risk off. Over 38, it's potential risk on, other than fail breakouts. Goog, not a lot happening there, and that's not something I'd be very interested in right now. Lower highs and lower lows, but this can easily be absorbed for this move. All right, so again, just in that range, you can see there's the rotation. No confirmation of down, no confirmation of up, just building liquidity. Meta, what the hell is going on there? Must have had news this morning. Either that or that's a dark pool print. Maybe someone can tell me in chat. That looks awful. What is that? Well, that doesn't look good, whatever that is, if that's legit. Same kind of story as Apple. It's coming down into this range, all right? Peak high, coming back into this range. Can it hold this to have another go to break up? If we lose this, remember, it's got lots of room downside. I've got a small starter in this, haven't taken any profits, just waiting to see how we act in the overall market. Microsoft gapping down. It's left trap volume at the highs. I'd be concerned about that if I was a trader. There's left trap volume at the highs there from the last few days, starting to break away from it. That is not a good look. Yes, we're coming back down to potential support, but you can see every time it gets up here, it's failing. It's got to hold this 82s now for a chance. I've got a price alert in case it breaks out, but yeah, that doesn't look great. Nvidia, this is the big one. Remember, we've got Oracle tonight. That will probably affect Nvidia. They had their chips approved to be sent to China. Then I read news this morning saying that DeepSeek have got some of their chips which they shouldn't be allowed to have. So, all sorts of sort of political events going on with this company. We will just have to see. It's trying to base and curl. It is trying to base and curl. It's not up to those highs yet. Let's just move this out a sec. Let's see where volume is trapped here. If we just do one of these from here, where are we at? Yeah, you can see. So it's just in a rotation. All right, there's your rotation. No acceptance above, let's call it 90, and no acceptance below 74. That's your rotation, nothing else. Tesla looks good. It's looked really strong, hasn't it, for a while now. Big moves last week and early this week, still holding on. So as long as Tesla holds dips into 440, it can continue higher. lose 440 and lose previous day low, and well, the next support system is back here. It's built out good liquidity here, 15s to 8 to 380s, big liquidity been built out there. I don't expect it to drop beneath this unless we have a shift in the macro environment. As a whole, on the mag, equally weighted. Where are we opening up? Slightly down. Not really much here. One thing you need to be aware of today, after hours, Oracle. All right, Oracle earnings after hours. Everyone is talking some absolute garbage on Oracle. I have no position in it, so this is not loaded. But everyone's saying, oh, they're like overexposure and they're going to have liquidity issues and they're going to roll over and they're going to dunk and they're going to this and they're going to that and blah, 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 blah. Look, the last earnings, we moved from 224 to 349 off good earnings. This move, off absolutely no reason other than fear being created, to me seems a little ridiculous. 46% down, right? So ideally, I just wanted before earnings to set a higher low in here and look for that rotation back up for a trade, but can't really position myself into earnings. But I wouldn't be short side. Definitely are not new money short. Lots of people talking about puts into this, so just be careful for you doing that. Market has just opened. Let's get into it. I'm not in a rush today, as you can imagine. Let's see what we get. Probably a whole lot of nothing would be my guess, is what we get today. And good morning, everyone. Sorry, didn't get to go through all the hellos and stuff in chat. Let's just see what we get here. What did we have pre-market? We've got some buyers trapped over 680 right now. And were there any sellers that trapped down here? A couple on that morning push into 34s just got trapped, but pretty low volume. Let this shake out, see what it wants to do. What did you guys say in the poll? You're all expecting chop as well. Yeah. 76% of you expecting chop this morning. Not surprised. Not surprised. Right, testing current value area low on the week here. Seeing some big selling coming in here. What's the market doing? Split names. Big seller down there. Just came in. Split names. Apple up, Amazon up, Tesla just about up. Nvidia pretty much flat, just gone red to green. Microsoft, the big loser today, over 2% down. Meta, just under 1% down. Google, just under 0.5% down. So mixed bag in the mag, as expected. SPY coming back into those 82s that we've talked about. I don't expect the market to do a lot here. It might. Like I said, there have been days where pre-FOMC, we've had amazing trends develop, but I find it somewhat unlikely that we're going to do that when the market's in such big balance. Why let the air out? And if they do, I'm going to make the assumption that it's going to be a trap for later. All right, let's see. Testing current weekly value area low right now. Developing profile. Previous week point of control that we keep absorbing off has been 600, remember, has been 600. It's the level it seems to like gravitating to and trying to find a bid around there recently. This can potentially become red now, 650, if they lose it. Previous day value area low. That would be an indication that we're staying heavy on the day for a rotation lower to pick up buy side lower. Nice, Otis. That's awesome. I'm glad it's helping, my friend. That's awesome news. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, so we had strong selling coming in here at 35. If they reclaim this, I expect we go to previous day value area low, which would be 650. And then we have to see if sellers defend that. If not, then we've come right to the top side. We've got old VWAP sitting at 71s, 24-hour VWAP up here. Really not expecting much today. So unless I see an opportunity which stands out, I'm going to just sort of let the market do what it needs to do. VIX trying to break out. It's actually having a go. It's trying to break out. What's that? Yesterday's highs, pre-market highs, pre-market highs. Trying to break out through pre-market highs. Not successful yet, but it's trying. We did just catch a few buys here into 34s. They're trying again here for a delta flip. So we did just catch a few buys there into 34s on that last move. They're trying again here. So I'd say 34 to 36, there were some buyers caught through there. That's where the strong sellers came in last time. So there's probably a passive seller there. If we get through that, then buyers will want to rotate to 650s. Amazon finding a bid, Tesla finding a bid, both about 1% up. The rest of the market red or flat. What's going on here? Big flush here coming. Here's previous week point of control. Like I said, those buyers were stuck up here. Could see them stuck. It's a nice rejection of VWAP there. There are some aggressive buying into there who got themselves caught. Here's your cover point 1. Now, if we do flush this, you can look for previous day low here. But just be careful. I'm expecting sort of whipsaw action. There we go. Sorry, folks, just having to sort something out. There we go. So through previous week point of control. Next target, previous day low. So those buyers getting themselves caught there this morning. Previous day low probably coming up here. You must be covering into this. These are the 600s. This is where we keep finding a bid over and over and over. This has like been the edge of the range all week. Maybe they dip through it, but this is definitely the edge. SPY coming down into, oh, it's lost 82s. There you go. So it's lost 82s on the SPY. That's key. You can see there's some bids here into 60s. You would need a drift back up to sell back into if you want to resize into this. Otherwise, we're going to take previous day low and there's going to be nothing left to do. Remember, this is where they keep bidding from, this kind of area. This kind of area they've enjoyed bidding from. Value on the day now back at 600, so maybe a retest of there. And see if they just drive back through it again. Previous week point of control. Remember, this is fair value for the last week or so. There you go. So there's the drift back to it. What they do now is important. If they don't sell this, we go straight back to the upside. This is the same thing that they've done all week long. So how we act here becomes important. Are they going to just bid straight off this like they have all week? Time will tell. And the place where the buyers were stuck is 30s. So if we let them out, that's where we let them out, up at 30s. So you can see just reclaimed 60 straight away. 60, 600. God, get your words out, mate. This is the same move we've done every day this week. Come into this low kind of area, previous week point of control, find a bid. We went over at pre-market. The big scoop of those lows. Look at the drive. Like, it's mad, man. Just range rotation. We're never going to move out of this range rotation. It feels like it's been months now of sitting in rotation. Look at that drive. What a fucking stupid market. And bid up, and here you go. So right to the upside now. And probably if we break previous day value area low, we start screaming higher and coming in testing previous day value area high. So look below. This was the level we talked about. Remember pre-market, we kept talking about previous week point of control. Every time we come into this level, all it does is find a bid, never even sweeps. It's the same thing again. Here's the edge of your range. Everyone wants to call this a trend. We are not in a trend. There's your rotation. All right, there's your rotation. Back inside, same rotation. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. Nothing to do here, folks. You've got nothing to do here. Unless you love rotation, which obviously we all know I absolutely hate. Absolutely hate these type of markets. These are not things that I personally enjoy trading. All right, so back to value, back to that New York Open. Bulls can't reclaim it. Remember, this was the area where I said bulls got stuck into sort of these 30s. So the rotation now will be to bulls will try and retest 600 and hold it. Bears will want a drift down underneath that. So just a 100-point move there. Don't know why that went to that. Sorry, folks. That should be like this. So here's the bulls trying to hold 600. All right, they're trying to hold it. There isn't that much excess underneath it, really, if I'm honest. So just for me, it's a leave alone day for me personally at the moment. I just want to wait for this market to get outside of its of the range. I don't like trading rotation. I think it's just the antithesis of what I like to do. So just let it develop. For me, all I have to do is wait one more day. Once we get to tomorrow, I've probably got some really nice breakouts or failed breakouts. So it's just a question, can I just get through to tomorrow? All right, testing between 600, like I talked about, bulls will want to defend, same level I gave you, 600, bulls will want to defend this. There is not that much excess here. So one thing I would say, not a lot of excess here, but if bulls can defend this, they'll try and get back to previous day value area low. If we get acceptance through previous day value area low, they'll want to come and test point of control on previous day value area high. So bulls are trying to look for this. Bears are trying to look for this and acceptance lower. That's what we have right now. I know, Julian, but calling them and enjoying them is two different things, right? Like maybe I just need to be more willing to trade them, but I try and trade where my personal edge is. My personal edge is in breakout and fail breakout moves. And it's just what I just enjoy. If I went through all my data for forever and ever and ever, I know my edge will be when we're trading outside, and when we're trading inside, I know I don't trade it as well. So by knowing that, I just try and stick to where my edge is. Like for me, you make more money as a trader by, how do I put this? By not doing what you're bad at. Does that make sense? I'll make more money. My P&L at the end of the year is bigger if I cut out the trades which I'm not as good at. So rather than adding more trades, what I want to do is just cut out the ones that I'm not very good at. And the impact of that's massive. Yeah. Like I talk about, I always use that golf analogy, going around a golf course with an 8-iron, if you're good with an 8-iron. If you get a driver out, maybe for a couple holes, you perform really well. Maybe you get to those holes in less shots and, you make a birdie or whatever. But every now and again, because you're not that controlled with the driver, you're going to fuck up. Okay, so here you go. Here's the test of previous day value area low. So there's the rotation, failed under previous week point of control. Never got to previous day low, scooped it, rotation to previous day value. Now, this is last chance for bears, because if they don't defend value area low, then what do we have? We have a move, we have a fail break outside of value. Think about yesterday's profile. Yesterday's volume is all here. All right, so bears must defend this if they want this. If they don't defend that, then we're going to go where? Back to these points like we just talked about pre-market. The look below and recover, yeah, totally. Just stuck up here now. Market might go to sleep now. This is the thing. It's very possible that market just calms down now and doesn't do anything for the day. Like, very, very possible. What we're doing with the mag. Tesla, 0.25% up. Nvidia's gone red to green, but 0.05% up. Google, 0.25% up. Amazon's doing well, 1.5% up. Apple, 0.25% up. And then you've got Microsoft, the big loser, 2.40% down. Meta, 1.12% down. All the sort of B and C list names I would talk about, OSCR, PayPal, Bull, IREN, IONQ, MVTS, RGTI, those sort of high beta, high gamma exposure names, they're all red on the day. If I look across the index, everything's red currently. Dixie down, gold down, crude down, Q's down, Spiders down, RTY down, YM is flat, Bitcoin down. Yeah, it's what we expect. It's what we expect, folks. It is what we expect. There we go. So probably now it will attempt to come up the previous day point of control. If they can find acceptance inside yesterday's value, that is what they will attempt to do. Whether they can do it or not is different, but that is what they will attempt to do. As a trader, I know always says do more of what works and less of what does. Yeah, that's it. That is literally the biggest rule. Like, if you want to increase your profit factor, that's, for me, that's the number one rule. The number one rule. That's it right there. Exactly what you just said. That is it. Morning, Nico. So here we go. Still driving, still trying to get up to previous day point of control, and then probably up to previous day value area low if it can. No, I've got like another hour with you here, and then I'm going to have to get off early today, I'm afraid. Got some stuff I've got to deal with. So, SPY, like, that first 5-minute candle came straight under 82s down to 81.30s, literally closed back above 82s, and is now driving higher. And the next place it will want to go is probably 85s if it can go there. I don't expect, like, my anticipation with this market is we do not move outside of range. I can't see why we would move outside of range right now, prior to I can't talk, prior to FOMC. I don't see why we would do that. There's no reason for it to do that, in my opinion. Unless something spooks the market. All this would be about doing is building liquidity into the market. I would imagine, anyway. That's my anticipation. That is my anticipation. Okay, back down towards VWAP. So failing previous day value area low. Let's put some current profile on there as well. So there's your rotation, current rotation anyway. I don't, Sigma, I don't understand. A couple of times you've said that big seller at 635. You must mean already, like, I don't understand. You must mean already filled, because that's below current price. So do you mean someone's stuck when you're saying that? I noticed you did that yesterday as well. You quote big seller when they're below current price, which means they've already got filled. Otherwise, you don't know they're a big seller. Big stuck seller. Okay, good, cool. Just wanted to check, like we were on the same page there. Just wanted to check. Is there any levels above here on Bookmap? There's someone offering 700. A few bids at 25s. Just looks. There's just nothing here like pulling me in. I can show you. I'm just like flat. I'm not even pulled in at all. In fact, why is that not connecting on that one? This happened last week as well. Funded next keeps disconnecting. Back to VWAP we go. Man, this trade copy, I really like it, but it definitely keeps disconnecting me from stuff. Well, I think it's that. I've never had an issue before using it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's my computer. Okay, back to VWAP. So we're trapped between 24-hour VWAP and New York VWAP here. Just in range. No big moves here like we talked about. We're just in range. The only thing I'd say is we didn't take out the previous day lows, but now just drifting back down to current value area low on the day. Some stronger selling coming in here. But I'd imagine they just bid off it like they've wanted to do numerous times, but we will see. Maybe we come down to that previous day low. I don't know. Okay, that's developing profile, is it? Yes. Okay, that's current weekly profile though. So I was just trying to work out what that was. Okay, so back up to New York, back up to point of control on the day, stuck in this rotation. Did we have a lot of selling at those lows? I'd say, yeah, under 600, there was a fair bit of selling that's probably stuck. And where's the buys came in? Buys over 50s right now. So buyers over 50s are stuck. Sellers under 600 stuck. 50 points there to play either side. That's about it. VIX want to pick up 1850 to FOMC. I mean, no, Peter, definitely not. Look, it's just failed to break out this morning. It looked above 1766. I don't see why it would come up to 1850 before FOMC. That you'd be asking for a lot of volatility to come on the market. Like, I find it unlikely, but I could easily be wrong. But at the moment, all we're doing is bouncing between basically 1750 and 1720. Yeah. So like the previous high from Tuesday, December 9th, acting as a support system. If we fade that, we probably come all the way down to 17s, close the gap in VIX to 1693s. It will need to sustain a bid over 1750 or 1760 really to get anywhere near those 18s, and I'll be looking at 1820s first stop. So Yeah, for me, it's just gonna go chill. It's just gonna go into what we're seeing here. All right, here's your profile now. We are rejecting previous day's value area lows. The one thing I'd say at the moment, we have not got back into previous day's value. All right, so really, they need to do this to get us inside value. All the time we're outside of value, this is open, but this is key, that previous week point of control. If we start letting go of previous week point of control and we start getting like a fade underneath these previous day lows, then previous week value area high becomes more probable. But it's a big if right now. Sellers trying to be aggressive here. You might get a breakdown here if they really let this out underneath the 600. Watching this 600, they're trying to sell very aggressively. If they sell this, it is potential that they want to wash it. But remember, this previous week point of control is what we've bid off non-stop, right? Non-stop. Big selling coming in here. Back to this same level. This is where they got stuck this morning, but they are trying. MAG is all going red other than Amazon and Apple. Worth noting, MAG is going red other than Amazon and Apple. But I'd say this previous week point of control, and now I'd even say 612s becomes important. That big sell candle, this is where we sold from. So yeah, sort of 612 to 625, bears will want to protect this. Remember, all we're doing is trading into this low where they caught those bears this morning. They caught the bears at 78. They caught the bears at 78. Where's that volume sticking out? 600 is a big traded level this morning. Big traded level. I'll be watching that 82s on SPY again, 682s on SPY again. We've just traded back down to it. In front of it, found a bid again. Like I said, I think we will just rotate all morning until we get to FOMC. But you never know. Some days it's not what happens, but that's what it feels like at the moment. There's that 610 test. They've definitely got bears, little bears trapped under 600 again for the second time today. So bears will need to get closes well under 600, otherwise they're going to be in trouble. This edge, yeah, we are rejecting value. It's potential that they move lower here, but they're gonna have to get under 600. I don't like it for me personally, but just saying what I'm seeing. Yes, back above New York Open, back above both the VWAPs, divergence there. VIX at previous day high, so it's traded downside. Might make a new low here if it does spike and squeeze, and then NQ might want to follow. We don't know. So no close below 600. These bears are struggling right now. Back inside current value for the day. There's liquidity up at 40s. I don't know why they're dangling it up there, but they are. Yeah, I watch the Qs as well. But I don't have to pay as much attention to the Qs because I'm trading NQ. But yeah, I'm watching the Qs as well. Q, SPY, VIX. That's what I'm watching. This doesn't look good for the bears. I think there's potential squeeze out here. They might get themselves caught. They need to get under 600, these bears. They're having another go here. They've got to get definitely under 607s. It's point of control from that last candle, and it's being absorbed. Delta in this candle is negative, and we've gone higher. So there's a passive buyer on the tape. There's a passive buyer on the tape down here. Surprise, surprise, at that previous week point of control, there's a passive buyer. Same thing for, well, 5 days last week, and where are we today? 3 days this week. So same thing as we talked about this morning. And there we go. So there's the squeeze. We just talked about it. This is why I have no interest in trading this. None. Yes, right back to PDC. This is where it has 2 wicks up here high this morning. If it gets through this, it will just scream higher. Because all those bears just came flying in, 620 down to 600 or to 590 and got stuck again. And look at this. Mag's flipped. This is a game, folks. This is why I keep saying to you, I know it's like a stuck record for the last, I don't know, week and a half, but this is the market condition we have. I cannot do anything with it. If they're going to do this, we have to respect what they're going to do. We can't fight them. The way I respect what they're going to do is by staying away from it. Until we get under previous week point control, bears have no control on this market. If we get under that and we stay heavy, there is a chance that they can get a rotation down to here. I'm not saying it's going to be absolute, but that there is a chance if they get under that. Here's a retest of current value area low on the day. It's being absorbed and they're trying to sell through it again. So I'd say sort of 608s now is going to become key. If they can't get under 608s, bulls take control and we probably go straight back through to 650s. SPY relative strength. It is kind of weird, I'm going to be honest, like looking across like those, I'll call them C-list names, and seeing some of them down 5% in tech and NQ not letting go, kind of makes you wonder, like, oof, is this market okay with itself? Back to these 600s. ES back to view up, so failed those top wicks again. It's closed gap and it can't get over gap at the moment. Where's the SPY? It's probably coming back down to the 82s again on the SPY. It's just gamma. It's just gamma exposure. That's all this market is. If we get under point of control, I'll consider something. And like, not just if we get under it. If there's like, if I feel like a sentiment shift's coming, if SPY starts to get weak, if I'm seeing like some of the rollover happen, if I'm seeing heavy pressure and us actually moving lower rather than delta divergence, I'll consider a trade. But until then, I'm not considering it. Right now, we're holding current. That blue line is your current profile of the week. We're pinned and holding the current value area low on the week. We are just going to trade from one side to the other. You can see it. All you got to do is put a profile on this week and last week and look at an hourly chart, and that is just telling you the whole story that you need to know. There's nothing you need to know beyond that. Look at that. What, 1, 2, 3 drives we've had off this kind of level we're at now, and 3 failures from just over 700 back to this level. We're just pinned, 100-point pin. That's basically what we're in, 100-point pin. 6 to 7, basically. Yeah, agreed. Agreed, Sigma. Agreed. So here we go. Sellers failed. They had 3 candles there of heavy delta and we didn't move lower. That's telling the story. We're coming back into where these sellers are at 35s again. And if we squeeze through this, we probably go straight back to previous day value area low, which is value area high on the day, which is 50s. And if we get through that, we're going to go high of day probably. So this is the game right now. This is point of control on the day now. Most traded level. See, look how tight this range is. No, this is why I keep saying, like, we're just getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. Eventually, this thing is going to either implode or explode, right? So we've gone from that. Now we've gone to this. All right. We're either going to get one of these or one of these, probably after 2 o'clock, or maybe even tomorrow, to be honest. They might do some nastiness today, and then real move comes tomorrow. Apple looks like it's holding on here. It might go red soon. May very well go red soon on Apple. passive buyer on a taper again. Trying to absorb 20s at the moment and see if he gets himself caught. But he's trying. SPY at VWAP. He's trying to absorb VWAP. SPY looks like it wants to break out to me. It's had enough chances. It looks like it wants to break out to me. YM's gone green. RTY's gone green. Come on, market. I've got another hour left, folks, and then I'm out of it. Can't believe I've got up for this. A waste of time. Waste of time. There we go. SPY's going to break out, like I said. It's having another attempt. At 850, once it gets through 850, it can probably just rip some faces, to be honest. Probably so many caught in this now. There we go. So you just caught everyone with shorts down here. So go straight back up to previous day value area low. Same thing applies. Like, I'm fucking bored of saying it, but if we get through value area low, we'll try and test up here. If we can't get through value area low, it's going to come back down to here. And you're playing in 50 points range. That's literally all you are playing in. So SPY trying to break out. It is attempting to break out of those 850s. It's trying to drag the market up with it. Tesla's just gone red to green just about. Nvidia's red, Microsoft's red, Meta's red, Apple's flat, Google's 0.5% up, Amazon's 1.5% up. It's just a mixed bag. Again, I cannot remember a day where I've looked at the Mag 7 and they're all doing the same thing for a long time, a long, long time. And you might say, why does that matter? Well, they're worth 60% of the Qs, so it matters. So if you've got half red, half green, probably not a lot you can do with it in terms of Confluence. Am I trading later? If price action's good, I will trade with my team in Discord. Generally speaking, I normally don't trade FOMC. I normally let the move happen. But if we come to an extreme and I think there's something to do, then yes, but we will see. I'll be here for it, that's for sure. Nice, keeping safe. Good work. SPY trying to break out of 850, failing 850 again. Feels like it wants to go though. Seeing a rotation now. Tesla's gone green, Apple very close to going red. It's just like rotation between the names. What's this level that we're at? Oh, it's the Globex low, Asia low. Okay, I was thinking, what the hell is that? SPY really looks like it wants to break out. It's just struggling at that 850. There must be some exposure there. Point of control now down at 30. So that's, you can use that as sentiment. There's 30s. There's the tap. They just tapped it and held. There you go. So literally just called it and they just absorbed it there. So buyers are sat at 30s right now. Right here. Came straight in and said, no, we'll gobble that up. We want to go higher. SPY still trying to break out of 850. Don't understand really why hasn't just gone for it. Why isn't just absolutely ripped faces at this point? It's got them caught. Just rip the faces. You have them caught, SPY. What are you doing? Q stuck at VWAP. Back to point of control maybe here to these 30s again. We do have big buy side delta there, so everyone there has been a buyer at 30s. If you flip under that, then maybe you get exposure lower again. So this is just the range rotation. So back to 30s we go again, like we just talked about. This is key now. If we start flushing this, we can get really, really heavy. because they've come in very, very heavy buy side here. So 30s is your level. They will need to absorb around these 30s, these buyers. Otherwise, they're going to get themselves caught. SPY failing to break out again. Problem is the rotation. This is why I don't like it when some of you have asked, why don't you trade it when you can see it? Because you're fighting over 10 or 20 points. Like, sellers are currently stuck under 20. Buyers are currently stuck over 30, definitely over 40. Do you know what I mean? Like, you see the days when we're in expansion, when I sit here and we trade 200-point winners together. I'm trying to fight over 10, 20 points. Like, it's just not what. It doesn't get me going, is the best way of me putting it. It doesn't get me going. SPY still trying to hold on and break out. VIX trading around lower day. I tell you what, if SPY doesn't break out soon, they're going to get caught. They've been at 850 all morning, 5, 10, 15, 20, 20, 30 minutes they've been up here. Strong delta coming in buy side again. They're still not moving higher here. This is going to get dangerous for these buyers on NQ soon. They don't get a breakout here, they're going to get themselves caught. In this current 5-minute candle, they've sold under 30s without getting a breakdown, and they've bought above point of control. So it's very, very tight. Here come the sellers. They are trying desperately to get a breakdown back down to this low, back down to 600 value area low. They are not getting their way though. And it's just a massive battle here. Look at SPY trying again. Come on, SPY, what are you doing? Why are you struggling so much? POC again here. Ugh. Ugh. SPY going again for high of day. I cannot believe it's taking this long for it to try and do it. Qs are stuck under VWAP. SPY relative strength. SPY is trying to break out. ES is trying to break out. Qs have relative weakness here. The market does not look good in tech right now. The only thing dragging it up is Amazon. It's amazing to me that we're even holding on. This is what I mean by it's a bit weird. I don't know if you can see this. These are like what I would call B and C list names in tech. They're all getting absolutely clobbered. Then we come to here. Can you guys see this? Yeah. It doesn't look, it's not like we're having big drives out, but we're just holding on, which is why I've been so focused on the spiders and the gamma exposure, because I just think it's option traders controlling this whole market right now. It's the dealers. It's just the option traders. I don't think it's anything else, genuinely. All right, there's the breakout on SPY. Still can't hold its gains. Traded straight back down to 50. If they don't get a confirmed breakout soon, they are going to get absolutely whacked. Back to point of control again. This is where the biggest level traded again, and it's all buy side into 30s. So buyers will need to protect this. If they sell under this, it's a big problem. VIX looks like it wants to close its gap. Gap fill on the VIX will be 1694. So I can't remember which one of you said you were looking for 18s, and I was like, why? Why? It doesn't need to go there before FOMC does it. 18s is very high. All right, if we're having a low volatility day, we'll go low teens. We're not going to go high teens. Yeah, just bouncing between gamma walls. Yeah, exactly. That's all we're doing. Okay, back to these 30s again. They lose this, we might test that value area low at 600, 609s. And try and absorbed again. Passive bias still here. Big selling, absorbing again. Man, if you lot are trading this, you got balls of steel. I don't know what to say. I don't know how you trade this chop. I don't know how you're even attracted to trade it either. Fail breakout and SPY again over 650. That's starting to fail now. There's still an absorption on this tape here this morning, but if he gets out of the way, because we've had a failed breakout on the SPY and we start to roll, we're going to come back down to value area low, which is sort of 6, we just call it 610. And then if they get closed below that, then they can look for lower day and previous day lows. But that's kind of where we're at the moment. I'll just remind you that at these levels, sellers have had no success for 2 weeks. I'm just going to remind you that while we're looking at this. 2 weeks, no success at these levels. Anticipation of a Fed rate cut today. Yeah, it's so annoying and contorted. I don't like. We were talking about it yesterday. I don't know why they've done it. It's so dumb because now I don't know who any of you are. And it's not like they've given me an option either. I've looked it up to see if there's a setting I can change. There isn't. So stupid. So stupid. Back to sleep we go then. Look at this. This is what you're dealing with right now. Seriously. Cannot close above. Slow grind. Can't close below, where's the 82s? Here. So look below 82s. This is the gamma. Come back up. The next level is up here at 85. So I don't know what they're going to do. Do they want to revisit here or revisit here? So 50-50 right now. No idea. It's fucking stupid. This is what we've been served for as long as I can remember now, basically. It's getting that long. Yeah, totally. I agree, contorted. I totally agree with you. I don't get why they did it. They did a trial earlier in the year, and then clearly no one liked the trial because they put it back after 2 days, and now it's back again. It's like, what? Like, what are you doing? No one liked it. That's why you got rid of it, and now you've brought it back again. Hey, SPY going to try it again at these 50s. It's failed here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. 6 5-minute candles have all failed here on the SPY. Can we get back inside previous day's value? That's current value area high is basically previous day's value. We cannot get acceptance higher. We cannot get acceptance lower, which means we're just going to do a whole lot of nothing. At this point, they've done so much work. They should just go back inside value, but they just can't. They can't get over 50, and they can't get below 620 or 600. Like we've talked about numerous times, you've got 50 points to play with. Do I not use real order flow instead of trading view? Yes, I do. SPY trying again, failing again. Sellers just got caught again at 30s. Buyers again can't get through 50s. Once they break 50s, there's probably a run straight up to these levels up here. Once they break 50s. Oh, sorry, I've got you on this still. My bad. Once they break 50s here, then there's probably a run up. Potentially close the gap at 700s if they can get going. I don't know, Caps. Yeah, I'm not sure. There's value area low. Right, let's see if they get acceptance now. If they do, then you're looking for a drive up into 700. So you've got 50 points expansion here. If they can get acceptance over this level, they have to find acceptance over it. If they don't, then you're going to go straight back down. You're testing that same with SPY, looks awful. They're testing the same level. You can go straight back down. Buyers just got trapped up there again, trying to trade through it. This looks terrible, like a failed breakout to me. But, you know, who knows? This is moving very, very quickly one side to the other. This looks terrible. This looks like a failed breakout. So back down to point of control on the day, which is 30s again. If they absorb here, they try and go back up. You get my point? Like, your range, there's no range here to play. There's nothing to play with. That's a failed breakout through value. So they tried to get above here. They did all this work, didn't get confirmation. They come straight down to here. If they lose this, they come down to here. So there's a rotation between here. There's a rotation between here. And there's a potential rotation between here. Those are the levels on the charts right now. Like, if you like rotation, you like playing for 10, 20 points, then this is your market. This is your market where you can clean up. That is my idea of hell, I'll be honest. Oh, and up we might go again then. You guys are brave if you like this. Yeah, exactly. Everything's flat. Like, this is a no trade. Like, guys, this is why we use profile, right? That's your range. This is what you're trading. That's your maximum range right now. That. Right? Be able to look at the charts and be like, am I interested in trading from 50s to 15s? Because that's all it's telling me at the moment that is available. That can change, but at this moment, remember, you can only trade what's in front of you now, not what you hope. Acceptance, a drive above with volume and a hold, right? Not that. That is not acceptance. That is a clear rejection. If we come into it and we have trap buys in here and we fail this blue level and we come straight back down to point of control, that's not acceptance. So this is, like I just talked about, there's the rotation. Failed, 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 failed. You need to see this or you need to see this. This, if you're playing edge to edge, that's your edge. Like, a tap into something doesn't mean we're going higher, does it? Right? If we get above it and we pull back and we hold it, that's a good sign. But not if we can't do that. Again, they've just trapped buyers up there again. They've just run up to 55. It's all buy side and we haven't moved higher, which means there's a passive seller up here. They need to now hold. If they don't hold, they're going to get themselves caught, like I've talked about numerous times today. They need to drive higher now because they've come heavy in buy side. Again, they came in heavy in buy side up there into 55s. Failed again. You get the point here, folks. Are you seeing acceptance over that blue line, this horizontal line on your chart? No. Are you seeing acceptance over current value? Remember, this is previous day. Previous day. Oh my God. Come on, TradingView. This is previous day. This is current day. Is price above current day? No. Is price above previous day? No. So what are we likely to do? We're likely to just keep doing this. And at the moment, there's your point of control. So this, and if we fail this, probably maybe this. And if we fail this, maybe this. If we're going to base above, they need to squeeze out. They need to hold a print here. And you've got to remember, you've got trap buys here. And if they get lucky and they use their stops, we can come up here. That is the maximum move I'd be looking for at the moment, would be 700. But it would have to get above this and find acceptance. Thanks, Contorted. Like I said, those buyers came in 652 and above, and they failed again. I should just say again. They failed again. SPY at 650. It's barely moving, the SPY. It is barely moving. Totally. I totally agree. And it's not just today. Remember, we talked about it pre-market. Like, zoom out on the daily. How many inside days are there? This is why I got so animated yesterday when someone's like, it's a clear trend day. Do you understand the definition of a trend? I get annoyed because saying things like that when we're at 700 encourages people to size in at 700 expecting like we're going to get a big move, and it had another 30 points before it failed. And that's why I get frustrated. It's like, if you're going to call something, you better be have some good thesis or know that you're right. Otherwise, there are new people here. I remember being a new person many, many years ago, following people into trades that didn't know what they were talking about and getting stuck. And that's the last thing I want you guys to do. I want you guys to understand the conditions. Right, sellers are trying again here. Currently, sellers are stuck at 45s again. So they just came piling in there. We're not moving lower. There's a passive buyer here at the moment. Let's see if they come right back down to 30s point of control. Yeah, I use IB levels. And we've got another 5 minutes left until initial balance is set. Absolutely. If you want to look for auction, failed auction, IB levels you can use. Point of control here. If we fail point of control, we probably come to 14s. If we hold in front of point of control, we're going to retest this. And that's all we're going to do. Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I agree, Mo. That's why I'm not trading it. If we come outside of, if for any reason they want to go risk on or risk off before FOMC, I'm all ears for it. Like, I'm here for it. But if we're going to just keep doing what we're doing, I'm not really interested. How do I use initial balance? I use it, well, if there's Confluence to dictate what is a trend day and what is not a trend day, what is a potential auction and what is a failed auction. All right, so it's no different to what we've just seen here. If you imagine initial balance high is here, and let's just say initial balance low is here, right? Let's just say that's what we had this morning. Forget, I know we don't because that's not the times. That is a look below and fail, right? So we're going to go to the other side of the auction. That is a look above and fail to the other side of the auction, to the other side of the auction. This is the key level now, like we just talked about. If we fail point of control, we're probably going to test 15. If we fail 15, we're going to come to previous week's point of control. It's just auction theory. It works the same way. It doesn't matter what you're looking at, whether it's an orb or initial balance or profile. It's all about the auction. Who's stuck? Where are they stuck? I don't use pre-market POC Sigma. That doesn't mean you shouldn't use it. I just don't use it. I don't pay any attention to the volume created pre-market unless there's been a decent move and I think there's an edge to play. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't use it. It's just my personal thing. I don't really use it. This is volume. This is delta. So rather than cumulative delta, this is delta each candle. All right, so you can see at the low, we had strong delta and we flipped, went straight buy side, straight back up. Okay, so we're at these sort of 30s again, this point of control on the current day. If we wash here, we're going to test value on the day, which is 14. If we wash 14, we're going to test previous week point of control, which is 600. SPY has definitely done a failed breakout, but it's back to VWAP again. ES back to VWAP as well. Q's relative weakness on the day. VIX has found a bid in front of those 17s we talked about. So in that demand block we drew out this morning, VIX has found a bid. It's going to come up and test 1720 now on the VIX, which is previous day high. If we fail that, market can get relief and move back up. If we rip through 1720 on the VIX, you might see some weakness come into the market. Right now, we're just in balance. Am I leaning towards a rate cut? Yeah, like 100 million%. It's priced in. 95% chance we're getting a quarter base point cut. It's priced in my opinion. We already know that. There's a reason. Right, let's just make sure we all understand this. When we were here, right, when we were at these levels, this was the last FOMC. Remember that. This was the last FOMC. Don't forget that. The old highs is the last FOMC. When we were here, we were expecting the rate cut. We were saying, oh, we're going to get a cut in December, and then maybe we're going to get one in January. And then Powell went, well, I wouldn't be so sure you're actually going to get one in December. Right down here. And then they were like, oh, fuck. Well, we've hurt the market here. And then what's said by Fed members here? Oh, we're definitely getting at least a quarter point cut here, like 100%. Oh, we'll price it in. We'll go straight back to where we thought that before. All right. Remember, we price in ahead of time. That's not to say that on a rate cut decision, we don't go higher. That would be a raid of liquidity. But for me, it's priced in. This was pricing it out. This was pricing it back in. If you go and look at the timings when Powell said we're no longer going, we don't guarantee a December cut. That's what caused this move. The moment then he said, well, I don't think it was him, it's Bassett and some others, yeah, we're going to have to do a cut. We came to here. Like I said this morning in the pre-market show, I'm not worried about the cut. I'm more interested in what they say about the labour market. I think that's what all the questions are going to be on. The labour market and the bonds. That's what people are going to care about today. In my opinion. They already know the cut's coming. What we don't know is the January cut. January cut is much less likely. I think like 30% chance at the moment or something is what's priced in. Correct. I don't know whoever said that. Superntoid. Sorry if I've said that wrong. Yeah, I agree with you. It comes into what's said afterwards. What date am I changing the course? New prices next year, but the new course, it's almost ready, folks. It's been uploaded. My web developer is just doing some finishing touches. The only thing I haven't been able to do is I want to record a trend day using order flow, and we haven't had one. So it's kind of what I'm waiting for. So hopefully, hopefully we can go into a pro trend this week or something at some point, and then I can record that. Because at the moment, all I've been able to record using order flow is rotational markets. But I can't force it. The new course, $399. It's going to be considerably cheaper if you're already a member, though. And I'll do a sale price for non-members, but it will be much, much cheaper for non-members. If you've already done the beginner to advanced course, you're going to get a fat discount, as I always promise. Like, if you're already grandfathered in, I look after you. All right, SPY starting to fail here. And Qs are holding a bid. This is hilarious. What's holding the Qs up? Amazon. Let's have a look at Amazon here. Look at that. Just bid. It's fucking stupid, mate. Bid off VWAP. Where are we in? Let me have a look at higher time frame. Yeah, we're in breakout. That's why. We're now in breakout and coming up to this level on Amazon. So that's holding the market up. Back to POC again. VWAP and POC again. Same thing. If we fail this, probably going to go 615s. If we reclaim this, this is your range. I've talked about it all morning. So last time I'm going to say it because it's probably getting boring. This edge to here, 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 fail this here, fail this here, and fail that here. All right, until that, it's like level to level. Just think of it as, I don't know, lifts or however you want to think of it, as like this will be respected, this then will be respected, this then will be respected, this then will be respected. This is a level and this is a level. Okay, so we will keep testing each side. Can we get above? No. Can we get below? No. Can we get above? No. Can we get below? No. Okay. Can we get below now? Maybe. Okay. Can we get below that? Maybe no. Can we get above that? No. Can we get, do you see what I'm saying? And then it would go, okay, let's try this one. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, no acceptance. Straight back up, for example. It's just a rotation. All right, very different to a trend. A trend would just be absorbing and absorbing and absorbing to move higher or move in one direction. We're creating liquidity right now. Yeah, ping pong. That's a really good way of putting it, actually. Ping pong. Here we go. So value area low about to be tested. 715 we just talked about. 715, 615. This edge of this blue right here. This is what we're testing now. If we fail that, probably back down to this 600. Okay, so here we go. This is also the New York Open becomes important, but also down to 600 is now possible. So if they fail this, New York Open, then previous week point of control. So if you're short here or short up here, here is a cover point 1. This will be a cover point 2. If you fail this, previous day low, current day's low. And if you fail that, previous week value area low. If you get value area high. If you get really lucky, we come down to here. If you get very, very lucky. I would doubt it, but you get very, very lucky. So there's the 600 test like we've talked about. Okay, so now the ping pong can be between 650 and 600, this level. And if we fail that, low of day. Yeah, exactly, Adam. Americans won't get that. To me, to you, to me, to you. Reminds me of being a kid. Reminds me of being a kid. Okay, so now what's going to matter is these value area lows on the day. Right, so we've gone to point of control again. We might come up here and revisit this sort of level again. And how we act there will become important. And these 600s, remember we've talked about over and over again. Heavy selling here, but will they get their way? Will they get low of day, which is probably what they're trying to get. But I'm not convinced in this market they're going to get their way. So bids here at 80, bids here at 70. They're walking down. I still think this needs to pop back up to 15s to test that value area low at the moment. No, it's from Chuckle Brothers. Skippy the Bush Kangaroo. That was that Australian thing. I haven't heard anyone talk about that since I was like 5 years old. All right, there's the 600 test again. All right, so if we flush here, then initial balance low, previous day low. And if we get an auction lower today, then you can watch these levels down here into 500s. So we are starting to see some heavy action. SPY failing that 850 numerous times. SPY, ES. SPY back to 82s. Remember, this is gamma level into 82s. Be aware of that. We're into a gamma level of 82s. If they hold this, you want to be careful. But if they drop this, then a move to 80 is possible based on gamma. Here we go. Previous day low and initial balance low now. Clear targets down here. All right, this is where we absorbed earlier. But I kind of expect this to get taken now. We've been here so many times. And if we crack violently, then these are your next levels if we're going to see expansion. So 550 on the book. There's an old imbalance down there at 550. Are we going to trade into him? So IB low coming up. Previous day low just beneath that. Under that, we've got room. Watch this SPY at 82s. We've traded under it now. If they trade back to it and reject it, there's a move to low of day and then possibly to 680. I wouldn't bank on it because we're technically still in a rotational market, but we have a chance to expand lower if sellers take control. It's a big old if, but that's the if. So IBL, your target. If you've already been short in this, then you want to be covering some here for sure. You send me indicator Gmail, but nothing's working. Then you probably either sent me your wrong name or you need to hit refresh on your cookies. It won't be my end. It'll be you putting in your wrong trading view name or something. I still think we probably sweep, but we might need a push up to test first. We will see. They're offering, they're like bidding at 550. So I expect the market to flush through 70, 65, 60, 55, 50 to fill these players. But it's just whether it needs a retest of 610, 615s first. Doesn't look that way though at the moment. And I would watch those 82s on SPY. We're coming back up for a back test of 82s now. Here it comes. Here's the 82s on SPY. If they reclaim this, we're going straight back upside. It just means a dip into gamma and then straight back upside. They're starting to try and reclaim. This 5-minute candle's dropped under it again. So 2 5-minute candles have come under 82 and reclaimed. How are we going to close here? 10 seconds left in this 5-minute. I want to see if we close heavy. Closed right at 82. like on the money, Spy. I'm going to get just a quick refill of my coffee here. Look for lower here. Look for lower here. Here we go. So there's your IB low. That's your TP1. Next level is that previous day low. Sellers got caught down there underneath initial balance low. They definitely triggered some sellers under 66. All right, so just be aware at the bottom of this candle, there are some sellers caught. Back testing 82s again. It's definitely, that is the level on SPY. That's your over under. Yeah, totally. I agree, Sigma. There was a seller down there underneath 66. He sold 66.50, 65. This guy here as well, 135 lot and then a 200 lot right at the low of day. So if this is the end of the auction, then the last seller sold. But we will see, won't we? We'll see. '82s test here on SPY. They're through it. It just depends how we close on a 5-minute bar, I'd say. And we can still afford, remember, a retest of 608, 610, somewhere up there into this value, into previous week point of control. We haven't retested anything. So if they're going to build out liquidity, they're going to build it out here. If they want to build that out for this move, they're going to build it out into here and use these stops to do it. If it's a fail break, then they'll do this, 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 and this. And if they reclaim this, then guess what? You know where we're going. Remember, level to level, level to level, level to level. That's all we're doing. Come and back test this level now and see if the sellers are up there. You can see them stacking on the book here, 600 and 625. Okay, back through. Here we go. Here's a previous week point of control test. Now, this and value will become key. I'd say from here to sort of 610, sellers will need to sell against, all right, to force the market lower. If they don't, we can come straight back up to 20 because we're thin all the way up into here, aren't we? So sellers need to come here. Otherwise, we're going to go back up to 20. If sellers confirm here, they will look for a breakdown and a new low. If they get a new low, there's a chance we sweep previous day low and get like a bit of a cascade. Otherwise, back into range, fail breakdown. Hopefully, I've made this clear. This is everything we talked about pre-market as well. So nice rejection there so far. Previous week point of control. Watching this very carefully here. Do we get follow through now? They're trying to bid here. I think we're going to sell through it. I think we're going to get follow through here. They're attempting. It's a big level into 85 where we just broke out from. SPY's reclaimed 82. Very aware of that. Very aware of that on the spiders. Might well squeeze up here. If they're going to reclaim and just set it and go back upside, then SPY, previous day low 82.60, and then 83 is possible on SPY. So that will pull this market up if we do. No, SPY is not at VWAP. VWAP is at 82.66. SPY is at 82.40 right now. Okay, back into previous week point control. So here's the test. Here to value area low is key. Like I said, up to sort of, I would say even 610 would be appropriate with this little node here. If they get acceptance through this buyers, then they're going to go all the way up here to 626. So sellers need to defend this level here. Failing to defend this level here will allow relief all the way back up to here. And this will be the same thing. A look below and a failure and back into range. Look below, into range, look below. Well, that didn't look below, but back into range. So sellers must sell here. And if they don't, then they've failed to complete the rotation lower. So this needs to be a build out of liquidity for sellers. Otherwise, a hold of this and you're right back into this level. It's good drive there. Buyers got stuck at that high. Sellers taking control of this current candle. Buyers now stuck over 600. Great from sellers. Okay, let's play, baby. Let's play, let's play, let's play. So in this from 96s, once I saw that transition, I'm not going to hold back above 600 though. I'll give it 4 points of risk here. I haven't taken profit yet. Just want to see if we can get a breakdown because I think they've got the chance to do it. The only thing that's putting me off is what SPY's doing right now. Maybe I need to take one off here. Where did that strong selling coming in? 94s. Think we can get it. SPY's got to reject, get it back under 82. I'm not seeing what I want to see on SPY. That's the only thing I'm concerned about. And selling on this candle's starting to get caught around 80. Need to break down here, otherwise I'm out. I'm not going to give this all the way. Okay, I'm going to cover one just in case. Don't want to be greedy. There's a nice buy side stuck right now over 99. I can show you here on this. Like they're stuck over here, looking to see if we can trade this down. I'm just concerned about this selling here, but I want to see these guys get stuck and a rotation. Come on. Sellers can't get a break here. SPY back through 82, 84, 82.40s. Don't like this. The more I'm looking at it, the less I like it right now. Sellers just had the opportunity to do it and they haven't. Still holding one. I'm going to move my stop break even though. Maybe I'll give it a little bit of room. Stop at 96s because actually, where's that point control? Stop at 98s. See if we can let this work. But I don't like what I'm seeing on SPY and that might ruin this trade. Either way, locking in money. Come on, fuckers. Fuck off, SPY. Go back down. It's just Amazon holding this market up. Everything else doesn't look good. We've got stuck here. Yeah, SPY is going to be a pain. Close to stopping out here, break even. They need to protect 98, 98, yeah, 9600s, I guess. So here's my break even point. I'm giving it a tiniest bit of room here. But I'm at break even now on this runner. Buyers have tried again here and are not getting their move higher. So we're stuck again in small rotation. But SPY is now at VWAP. If SPY doesn't reject here, I'm going to get stopped out into 600. Very close to tapping me out here. Oof. Tick away from taking me pretty much. I'm out. So stopped out on that. Gave it a chance, but again, this was all because of SPY. This might still work. But again, like I said, it's option dealers are controlling this market. It's fucking annoying, but that's what we've got. No breakdown under 82, reclaim 82, now to 83s, reclaim that 85 as possible. That's why I've got a price alert here and here. I think this is the pin at the moment, is 80 to 85. So that's what I'm watching is the extremes. But they had the chance here, failed to break down. We had a go at it. Got one off in profit and one I give it a bit more room than break even, to be honest, but made money on that trade either way. Okay, so now if they're going to find acceptance, we're going to come back up to this shelf like we talked about. So this becomes the area that they're going to attack where we got thick, all right, and we've had another look below and fail, and they're going to come right back into this area here. And at this point, I wouldn't be interested really in reshorting this. I'd have to see a lot of weakness because they just had an attempt down here and failed. Hopefully that makes sense. Look at SPY, now at 83s. It's just so predictable with the options guys. Kind of wild. I don't remember a market that was this much pinned by options. By levels, yeah, but it feels like it's all options. Because if you actually like just zoom out, we're often not taking liquidity at the moment. We're just coming back into a level and finding a reaction. VIX still looks like might want to close that gap. If VIX fails 17s, we're going to close that gap. So back to point of control on the day, back to these 30s. Remember, there are buyers stuck above 30s today. All right, so buy side is stuck above 30s. But, you know, this is a strong move after a failed breakdown. Big buyers coming in here. Big buyers coming in here, trying to get that move back through point of control. And all the delta is buy side, basically, over 31. So big retest up here. SPY looks like it might go all the way back to higher day at the moment. And sellers are trying to get a close under 18 at the moment, just failed. They just came piling in and failed again. This feels like it's going to go higher at this point to me. Because sellers need a reaction in front of point of control. They keep getting absorbed. So we'll see. See how this like next minute or so closes out. What's that imbalance? 09s, 010s. So reaction in front of 30. Sellers came flying in right where we are now. This is their price that they came flying in, and they are being absorbed. Like I said, I don't want to play up here. I'll wait to see what we do next. It's too risky now. I had my shot. That's my one shot at it. Oh, the rollover of the new contract. You think they'll do it then? I think we'd do it. Oh, I mean, we better do it before then. I hope we do it before then, mate. Okay, sellers trying again here. We just caught some buyers above 20. Okay, on those last couple of candles, some buyers have been caught up there above 20s. This is looking a bit more promising, but value area low now is 605. Previous week point of control 600. That's still like your sort of sentiment. It's possible that they needed to do a big squeeze out into this level that I just gave you up here. With this shelf here, I said if they get through, where was it? If they get through this, we will revisit up here. They are selling that at the moment. So this is your two leg. It's possible that they set one of these. But again, we're in a range rotation. I don't want to have too many goes at it. But we will see. Back to point of control from previous week. If we sell through this, it's got a chance. Again, SPY still above VWAP right now. It's just coming to back test it. They're trying to sell under this. Interesting. ES and SPY at VWAP. Really, we've done nothing when you zoom out. We've done nothing. Phenom is probably because it means you prefer trading trend, and you've got to be see money, take money, and play the extreme. So like, even I didn't take the short up here, even though I said it could fail. I don't like how we got there. I need to see a lower high form here. This is a two leg, but at the moment it looks like they might just dunk it. Does look like they might dunk at this point. If they reject 600s now, maybe. But we're into this little node here. If we sell through this, we can wash. But I'd like to see them come up here and reject this. If it's going to be really kind, I'd want to see this. Reject this, fail this, wash this, reclaim this. Nothing's on. If it's going to be kind. Staying heavy here. SPY back to 82s. Oh man, can you give me something to get involved in? If shorts fail to break down here, though, they will get caught. Come on then, baby. They're trying. I think we're going to do it. I think they've got enough caught. Come on. Here we come. Can we see some expansion now? I think we're going to get it, folks. Big sellers coming in at 77s. Buyers just got trapped in this single candle here again. I think we're going to flush lower. If this breaks this current low, 71s, we should flush. Here we go. There we go. Boom. There's your order flow. Oh my God. What did I just say? Fucking nailed that. You best believe I absolutely hammered the shit out of that once they were caught. Woo! What a beauty. Literally saw them get caught right in front of my eyes. All right, let's see if we can get any more here. So there's previous day low now taken. Now, if they're going to rotate this range, 500, 469 is possible. If they're going to rotate this range, okay, this is why we're here today, just in case they do it. There's no guarantee they do it, but just in case they want to play ball, that's what we're looking at. So IB retest here. Remember, if sellers fail to move lower and we get acceptance back into initial balance, it'll be a look below and fail, and we're going to go right back to 600s if they want. All right, just be aware of that, of like what we're looking at here. Here's the sweep of previous day low. If they get no acceptance under here, they might need to come and check like these 82s where we just broke down from. This here. Sorry, folks, I'm trying here. They might need to come and test this. If we stay heavy versus this and break down here, then I expect a revisit into these areas, okay? If they reclaim this and hold a higher low, I would just be risk off for the shorts at that point. But buyers are attempting here. You're seeing strong buying coming in, and at the moment, we're not moving higher. So these buyers are going to get stuck here again. If they can't get above, they've just come flying in. 62 to 67s, they've come flying in. If we can't move above that, and we break down a new low, everyone in this candle will get stuck again. IB low is a key sentiment now. Yeah, I do, TJ, and especially in the order flow course, which should be live in like the next week or two. It's like literally what I focus on, but it's in the beginner to advanced course as well. If you've not traded with me before, I would advise you do the beginner to advanced course first, just so that you can understand the setups, what I'm looking at, why I'm looking at it, and then afterwards do the order flow one, because you're going to need some bigger understanding. All right, so we might be coming up to these 80s here, like I talked about, and if we get through that, then there's no acceptance lower. All right, if we get through that, then there's no acceptance lower. Guess what SPY caught a bid at? Guess what SPY caught a bid at? Right, here's the test towards these 80s that we just talked about. It's so funny. That's like, it's literally to the tick there. What was that low on SPY? 68203. Are you fucking kidding me? All right, so this is the test of 80s, that little volume shelf. Let's see if they break back below initial balance now and create a new low. Here we go. Really nice. Fucking market, man. It's hilarious. All right, really nice rejection off the 80s like we talked about. They might need to revisit these 80s. Really nice. Can we see follow through now? Can we see follow through now? SPY, you're horrible, SPY. You're horrible. Really good. I think we're gonna get breakdown here. Oh, be careful. Actually, big seller just came in there and he got caught. 226 lot at those lows there. Literally, as I said that, at 556, you got a 226 lot sell side, and he is caught. So we need to trade under him. If we trade under him, he's going to be fine, but we need to trade under him. And he's at about 556. See it on Bookmap right here. This guy here, 227 lot. What's his average price? 559 is his average price. He's stuck. There you go. He's stuck. So be careful. Be careful. Back to IB. Those 80s is your guide. If you get acceptance back through 80s, then you probably get a drift higher. All right. If we get back through, you should call it 90s really. The test is 80s, but if they get back through 90s, then it'll be a look below. If they hold above here, then we squeeze. If they reject this and build up more liquidity, then this is the target. All right, just be careful because the low-hanging fruit was previous day low. We've taken it. This is all about the weekly profile now. Are we going to expand the current week to come and test previous week's edge? All I'd say is there is not from the previous week, but from the week before that, there is a naked point of control down at I think it's 200s. Where is it? 24,950s. That's where I want the market to trade to. Yeah, let's go then. Give us the puke then. So can we get now into this and this? That's my question for the market at the moment. Can we get all the way down there? Just trying to zoom out and see what levels we have in between these. Just make sure I'm not missing anything. There is a bit of a node. 540. I want to be aware of 540. There's a little bit of a low volume node at 540 and then a spike out to 530. So 540, 530 is going to be key. And if we get below that, then I think there is a chance to trade down to 500 or 491 and 470. So 540, 530 is a key level coming up here, just based on previous week volume. If we trade under that, I think we get a snap. Guess where SPY is? Guess where SPY is? Can it let go of this? Sellers are coming in here. We're not moving lower. Just be aware of that. 540, 530. Once we're out of this trade, I can show you why I'm looking at this level. If we can close below this, there's a low. If you look at a weekly profile, there's a little low volume node of sort of 540, and then we spike out to 530. So this is like a little reprice on previous week. If we close below this, we can wash. They're trying. Have they got any juice? At the moment, they haven't got any juice, but I think it's coming. Here's the 40 test. All right, 40 and 30 coming out. If we trade through this blue box is target, 500s. If we trade through that, this previous week value area low. You don't want to be risk on, as in you don't want to be short under here. That's the edge of value. And you don't really want to trade this back above 50 here because all the sellers came in at 50. It can trade above 50. I'm just saying you don't really want it to trade above 50. Really nice. This is looking really good. Yeah, 50 is key. It's where all volume was traded up to 50. We don't want it. If you're sell side, you don't want it back above 50. All right. If you're sell side, you don't want this back above 50. Am I looking at 488? For targets. Yeah, I see that level. That's what I'm just above that. Yeah, that 494. This box basically, it's the same area. It's there or thereabouts. This area here. So that low from December 4th, and if you look at the profile previous week, we got, yeah, come on, get under 30 now. Sellers are trying to come in here aggressively. Be careful here. Be careful here. They're trying to come in aggressively. If we snap this, we move lower. If we don't snap this, they're going to get themselves caught. Cannot trade back above 50. In fact, I don't even want to get that high now. Lots of selling coming in here, folks. If we don't move lower, it means there's a passive buyer in this little node. Remember, I said 40 to 30 is a key level if we're going to find acceptance lower. They're struggling here. They came flying in sell side here. They're caught. If you get back above 50s, you want to take this trade off. In my opinion, if this gets back above 50s and you're holding that runner, you want to take this trade off. Here's the retest of it. Sellers are now caught. For me, sellers are caught under 30 right now. In here, sellers are caught in this wick. Sellers are caught here. They're trying to defend here. All right. If they don't get their way, a squeeze will come available back up to these levels for a test. Just trying to make you guys aware. Those who took this short up here or joined down here, right? You don't really want it to reclaim this. There's a tap of 50. Big reaction. There is a fight here coming. SPY retesting 82, staying heavy so far. Buyers trying this candle. They're attempting to get back acceptance back through. There's you keep saying that. Okay, and like I said, it will mean you've either sent me the wrong username for the indicator, or that you need to refresh the cookies on your chart. So if you tell me your name, your TradingView name now, I'll be able to check it. Just type your TradingView name into chat and I'll be able to check if you've been approved or not. Well, I was just got caught there above 55s. So that 50 level's still big. Delta's starting to flip from sell side to buy side. They're trying to expand now, so they're going to come and test 60s now, that previous day low and initial balance. Remember, if we go back inside initial balance, it's to look below and fail. Schlombeza 11. All right, let's have a look. Shlomo Beza 11. All right, it means you put it in wrong. It's approved now. It means you put it in wrong. So it should work now. Easy buy? I don't think so. I don't. There's no confirmation here that we're going back upside right now. The only thing I'd say is you've got sellers trapped under 33s. Momentum is downside. You're outside of initial balance. You're breaking out away from previous weak point of control. I'd say, for me, we've left value. This is the first time. Here's previous day's value. We've left it. We rejected it a few times today. We're searching lower now. We're probably likely to search to previous week's value area high. All right. Maybe here, if they absorb or do a look below and fail, there's a buying opportunity. But I wouldn't say, now that we're breaking away from value, look at the volume we've left trap. We're breaking away from value. I wouldn't say it's an easy buy. I'd say that's it might be what you consider a cheap buy, but I wouldn't say momentum's on your side yet, other than knowing that the sellers are trapped under 33s. And it also depends what your ambitions are. If we start pivoting here, then yes, I think that's a safer action, but you've still got to get through this. I'd just be slightly concerned about this right here, right on the edge of value. But if you get acceptance in, then I would have to agree with you. I would definitely say that shorts are trapped. Like I said, once we get over 50, you think my previous week value area high and value area low flipped? Oh, yeah. I see what you mean. Okay, let's just... I see what you mean. There we go. Thank you for pointing that out. Appreciate it. There we go. All right, so for me now, no more shorts, because for the first time, we've had shorts caught at the lows, and we're now back inside and this. So for me now I'd consider, if we want to trade back inside, it's there. I'd still be somewhat hesitant. All right, I'm going to use the bathroom while this figures itself out, and I've got to get off. I've got to get off when I come back, to be quite honest. Didn't realise the time. All right, let's do an Apex giveaway, and then I've got to go, folks. So I didn't realize the time. I did say today was going to be a shorter stream, so let's get this set up. Don't type anything yet, otherwise it won't be included. I should say, Apex, I just got an email from them. 90% sale just started, folks. And insane, Christmas sale. So they're going to do a 90% sale. So all evaluations currently are priced at $19.60, no matter the size that you're looking at. $19.60 for all evaluations. Activation fee on 25, 50K, and 100K is now $65. Super cheap. That's really good. And for the 150K, 250K, 300K, $125. So great time to grab these. Sale ends December 16th. So you haven't got long, actually. That's a very short sale. 4-day sale. Apex. So that's for Apex. Okay. So let's, so code FCT will get you 90% sale. So if you want to load up for 20 accounts, now is the time to do it. I think they only do 2 to 3 90% sales a year. So if you want to get 20 accounts, now is the time to do it. All right. Let's give a giveaway. Here we go. You know the score, folks. Type FCT in chat. So whoever said that easy buy, you're actually looking really good. I would say it's an easier buy, safer buy. Cheap buy down here, safer buy here once we reclaim initial balance. So whoever asked me earlier about how you use initial balance, this is your prime example. Holds initial balance, fails initial balance, reclaims initial balance, back inside. That's your target. VWAPs are always your target off the IB, trade back inside. So if Tyson's here, I'm sure Tyson just took this trade back up to here. That's his trade, bread and butter trade every day. Can't remember who asked me, but there we go. Okay, give you guys one more minute. I'm really sorry it's a shorter stream today. Some of you in chat will know I'm dealing with a lot of pretty big family stuff offline, and I have to deal with that this morning. I'm sorry, I'm already running late for them. So if you find me snappy on chat or short-tempered, just know I'm only human, and I have some pretty major stuff going on off the charts. There's only so much capacity I have to be calm. Sometimes, things like mourning and grief can cause a lot of pain, and I will snap. So apologies for the days when I do that, but try and give me a bit of grace if you can. I'm a human being. I'm going through lots of things at the moment. All right, let's pull this winner. I'll give you guys 10 more seconds. Okay, let's pull this winner. Ron, 1847. Are you here, Ron? Ron. Are you here, my friend? Are you here, my friend? Let me know you're here. In chat, just shoot me a message. Otherwise, there you are. Yes, sir. Okay, I can see you. Ron, what I'd like you to do, shoot me an email, info@flowzonetrader.com. Just send me a screenshot of your YouTube with you logged in. That's all I need to see. So I can see the back end of your YouTube. I can see you logged in under your username. And I will sort you out a free Apex account. You can have any size Apex account you want. And that's it from me, folks. Those in Discord, I should be all done in time, and I want to be there to help you guys with FOMC. Just be cautious now. What I'd be looking at now for the remainder of the day. Let's just zoom you out. Where's this? And just get you prepared for the remainder of the day. Those that aren't with me. Okay. So we are now coming back to test previous week's value. You can see how important this is. All right. The rotation. This is what I was talking about every day this week. This is your previous week's value. We're looking below, failing. We're looking above, failing. Looking below, failing. Looking above, failing. Looking above, failing. Looking below. Currently, potentially failing. I would say you've got a bit longer. How we close is important. If we stay heavy here, then we're going to look. This is current week's value. Then we're going to look to trade underneath this to here. All right, that is a potential long trigger there. All right, if we get down into that and they hold, that's the potential long trigger. If they also get back inside current week's value and previous and current day's value and they can't find acceptance, then what we're going to do? Back up to the other side of range. Be careful, those of you trading FOMC. If you see a rate cut, quarter point cut, and you see the market doing this, do not be tempted, okay? Do not be tempted to just slam long as you see it breaking out because we've had a rate cut. We have trap buyers up here. Every time we've come up there, we've failed, and we haven't actually tested that volume. Beyond that, if we look left, look at the confluence. Value area high, value area high, value area high, value area low. I would say from 900 to sort of 700, that is a big supply zone. Now, we get through 900 and you base above and hold, you find acceptance. There's a trade up to 26,050. Be very careful being risk on above that. That's your point of control. These buys here from the week of, which started October 27th, have never been let out. Just understand that. These guys haven't been let out. All right. So just be careful because I'm sure the algo will probably want to print higher. Remember, it often will do it one move, one way, fake, and then go the other. It might be that it does this. All right. It might be that this morning is it. I don't know. But all I'm trying to say is don't go full send. All right. Just chill. Chill. See you guys Thursday tomorrow. Yeah, see you guys tomorrow morning. Please trade safe in the afternoon. Peace and love. Be kind to each other. Use hard stops. And thanks for your patience. I appreciate it.